We'll go about 1.5 inches into the tree, and then we'll drive in a spout and hang a bucket.
Jonathan Funk is showing us how to tap a maple tree for sap that will eventually be turned into maple syrup.
If they're running well over a 12-hour period, they'll fill.
We're at Funk's Grove in central Illinois, about 150 miles southwest of Chicago. For nearly 200 years, the Funk family has boiled tree sap into maple syrup here. Jonathan's father, Mike Funk, runs the family's maple syrup business.
It's light amber, it's more delicate flavor.
His nephew, Steven, says it's the start of maple syrup season, even if conditions aren't ideal.
Very wet. It's been raining for a day, and now it's snowing.
The Funks tap about 4,500 maple trees on their 500 acres of forest. Less than a quarter of those trees are drained by bucket. The rest are tapped using a more modern method involving plastic tubes, a vacuum pump, and several holding tanks.
And so you can see the sap going into the pump right there, and then once that fills up, it'll get pumped from there into this tank. And then once this tank hits a certain level, those two big tanks that we passed when we came in, it's going to pump it all the way up that pump line to there.
From there, it's sent to the sugar house, where an evaporator boils away most of the sap's water content to concentrate its sugars into syrup.
We have to leave the doors open just to get a little air moving, try to keep the steam out of here, but yeah, it's pretty warm.
Roughly 40 gallons of sap produces only 1 gallon of syrup. That's why there's so much steam in here. Mike checks the syrup's thickness with a hydrometer in the finishing room. This is where the syrup is heated once more, filtered, and bottled hot, sanitizing the container it's in.
Whenever the sap runs, we have to be ready.
Tapping for maple syrup requires specific weather conditions for sap to flow. Something that's key to this business is the freeze-thaw cycle. What is that?
Well, so we want it to be warmer during the day and then colder at night. And so we want that up and down temperature swing. And that causes the sap to run up into the tree or drop down into the roots. And so we catch it when it's warming up and it's going up into the tree. That's when we get the sap.
The Funks say climate change has filled their multi-generational family business with uncertainty.
We just don't know. Sometimes we don't have winter until late January. It hasn't even started yet. And then you'll have cold weather, big up and down swings in temperature all the way into April.
Joshua Rapp is a scientist with the Massachusetts Audubon Society. He co-authored a study published last year that examined 6 maple syrup sites across the North American range of sugar maple trees. The Funk family told me they're experiencing more erratic maple syrup seasons in recent years. Does that match up with your research?
Yeah, we've been seeing that the last, over the period that we've been studying this, it's been very erratic. And that's especially true in the warmer half of sugar maple's range. As you go farther north, it's a little bit more predictable.
Rapp's research predicts maple trees in Indiana and Illinois will produce almost no syrup by the year 2100.
I think we're okay for my generation. Jonathan's and our grandchildren are the ones we're concerned about.
For now, the Funk family combats uncertain conditions by staying prepared, utilizing technology, and hoping for a little luck. Debbie Funk says their location is a sweet spot to attract syrup lovers from afar.
In the summertime, we get a lot of international travelers that are traveling Route 66 because we're right on Route 66, so that's pretty neat. So we get to meet people from all over the world.
For Chicago Tonight, I'm Evan Garcia.